Kevin Hester, you are ridiculous.
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, we crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Shut up. See that? That's your IQ, buddy. 0.
Hungry Chicago, finally champions on this January day in the world.
This is the Barely Qualified Podcast with your hosts, Nick Lavris, Jason Maxwell, and Drew Bailey.
Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Barely Qualified. My name is Nick Lavris, and with me as always is Drew Bailey and Jason Maxwell. Boys, we had a football game yesterday. And our Bears came up a little bit short in Green Bay. They lost 28-21. Bears have now fallen down from the number 1 playoff spot in the NFC all the way down to number 7. One game ahead of Detroit, who is currently outside looking in. Pretty big game, obviously. The three of us had a slightly different reaction to the game and the outcome. So we're going to kind of get into that in a little bit. And everything else that happened in the game we'll break down as well, like we always do. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about our friends over at Lola's Handcrafted Churros in downtown Lisle. Lola's offers up handcrafted churros from scratch, made to order, and piping hot. It doesn't stop there. Lola's pairs these bad boys with ice cream sundaes. I'm talking about s'mores churro sundae, matcha fruity pebbles, Nutella, and strawberry. The list goes on. Get a sundae, get a dozen. Just stop in there for one. Whatever you do, you're going to love it. They have coffee, horchata, freshly made churros, ice cream, and as a wise man once said, what more could you want? Check them out at Lola, L-O-L-A, churros.com. Follow them on Insta and TikTok at Lola's Handcrafted Churros and let us know how you like it. All right, boys, let's get into it. As I mentioned off the top, Bears lose a close one up at Lambeau, 28-21. Lost first place in the NFC North, fell from the 1 seed in the NFC down to the 7 seed. Instead of diving into this game right off the bat, I think I want to have a just discussion on the state of Bears fandom right now. We had a bit of a disagreement on reactions between the three. Well, mainly you two had probably the right reaction, and I did not have the right reaction, essentially. And I've kind of come down a little bit from that, but I still feel similarly. I believe I have this worded right in here, but you guys believe this was a loss you can build off of, consider it a blip on the radar in the grand scheme of a great season. I, on the other hand, find myself more on the all is lost season of doom. Bears will never beat the Packers, on and on and on. So I guess Drew and Jason, I'm gonna let you guys kind of take the lead and talk me off the ledge a little bit. Because I know that I know we talked and Jamie was kind of on my side as well. So there's probably other people out there that are kind of doom and gloom today. Just talk me off the ledge a little bit. Talk all of us off the ledge.
I mean, first, the thing that I agree most with you and Jamie on, and I think Jay would echo this no matter what, Nick, is it never feels good losing to the Packers. Number one, overall. Any loss to the Packers is going to suck. That loss, the way that it happened, sucked, definitely. However, just from a game perspective, for me, where I can take some solace and some perspective and positivity of is you essentially did not play the entire first half. It didn't look like the Chicago Bears knew that there was a game happening yesterday until the snap of the second half. And it could have been a game where it's 14-3, the Packers come down and score, it's 21-3, and then you just get your face rubbed in the dirt, and it's awful, and you don't feel like you belong, and you shouldn't belong, and your little brother once again, and we're crying in our hands at the end of that game because it's 35-3, and this whole season is now a wreck. Wasn't like that. There was a perspective of positivity where it felt like the Bears owned that second half, and they can compete with this Green Bay team. This is also in Green Bay. So I feel an era of positivity in 2 weeks that not only do I know that we can hang with this team, but we're going to have an opportunity to beat them. It sucks to lose, and it sucks that, yes, we dropped into the 7 seed, but that was just the perspective of either of these teams, whoever lost, just because how well the NFC North is going right now and how sick the NFC West is right now, that you're just going to fall into that. And if you keep winning or win, lose, you're just going to teeter-totter back and forth in there. There's only really 2 places you can land. So not as doom and gloom today. I think there's a lot of sports outlets or Bears outlets that were a little bit more positive, which I'm shocked about. But it definitely made me feel like we can hang with this team, and all you got to do is play 4 quarters. Don't just play 2. There's 4 for a reason. Play 4 quarters and could have had that game for sure.
Yeah, Drew, I think you summarized it very well. I think for the Bears fans out there, like Nick, like Jamie, that are, hey, it's Groundhog Day again, right? It's we lost to the Packers. We're never going to beat these guys. The boogeyman's under our bed, and we can't go to sleep. Those feelings are valid, but let's pump the brakes on that. I would say let's pump the brakes. This was it was a one possession. At the end of the game, there was a chance, right? And I think that's what we wanted going into this game. Can we compete with the Packers? And we proved that even without an A game, maybe without even a B game, like Drew said, you only really showed up for 2 quarters. In the second half, you kind of dominated the game to a certain degree. I mean, you played that smash mouth, established the run game. I think they had almost 250 yards of offense in the second half, right? Those are things that you can build upon. And what I would say is, listen, let's not put the cart in front of the horse. We have another opportunity to match up at Soldier Field with the Packers. If we lose that game, I think those feelings are extraordinarily valid. But we haven't gotten to a point where, we've fallen off the ledge yet. It was the exact game. We knew this was going to be we wanted it to be a coin flip game. We didn't get the result. We didn't get the W, but we showed up and we competed. And the Bears competed. And I think you can build off of that. And when the Packers come into Soldier Field, I think there's going to be an urgency to win that game, obviously. But we're not going to be showing up to that game with the feelings of we can't win this game. I think in our heart of hearts, we're going to say the Bears can absolutely beat the Packers, especially at home. And that's something to take away, even with a hard loss, a crushing loss, a loss like you said, Nick. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong this week, the Lions win, the Rams win, the Seahawks win, the 49ers have a bye, the Packers obviously win. You can still make up for that by beating the Packers. We haven't lost twice yet, right? Losing twice, then all of those feelings of doom and gloom are completely valid. And it's scary because we don't want to have to be in that position. You want to have a win in the back pocket. You want to show up to that game, say, hey, against the Packers, even if we lose this next game, we're still alive. And we don't have that luxury anymore. We have to win that game against the Packers to feel validated, to feel like we have a shot at going to the playoffs, to rid the boogeyman from us. But we haven't gotten to that point yet. And I will focus on the positive part that we can beat the Packers next time we play them. And for me, that's huge.
Yeah. I mean, these are all...
Sorry, Nick, I just saw this big Saquon touchdown for you right there. So hopefully that makes you feel even better.
That's big for me. That is big for me personally. Needed that in kind of the worst way. So it gives me a little bit more breathing room. And I'm in the middle of a very heated playoff race in a fantasy league, and that helped me tremendously. So, yes, all what you guys are saying is true. And I've seen it kind of echoed across social media today. That seems to be kind of the national sentiment as well, is like, wow, okay, Bears can play. This isn't, same old Bears, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you what kind of led to this reaction from me. And it wasn't even like, I don't know, nothing could have really quelled this feeling in me other than a Bears win. I mean, there's 3 teams in the world that I really care tremendously about, right? Chicago Cubs. Who did they lose to in the playoffs? They lost to the Milwaukee Brewers in the playoffs this year. Chicago Bears. Obviously, the Packers have owned us for my entire life. Losing a game to the Packers, it sucks. Marquette basketball just got fucking curb stomped by University of Wisconsin on Saturday. I don't really follow the NBA, but the Bulls can't ever doesn't seem they can beat the Bucks. I don't really, and also again, I don't care about Illinois football, but Illinois football was ranked and pretty good this year, and they went to Wisconsin, who was terrible, and lost to them. It just feels like Wisconsin just owns us in every aspect of it, and it's I hate it. I hate losing to rivals. I hate being the little brother across the board in every rivalry. And so all the things you said about this current Bears season, true. I believe all that stuff. I'm still in on the Bears this season. Obviously, I'm still in on Ben Johnson, all that stuff. But this whole losing every single time you play a rival needs to stop. I just can't take it. It's just,
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired, boss. I can't do it anymore.
I know. That's fair. I mean, there's nothing more fair than that.
Yeah, it's just, and I was talking a few weeks ago about how you gotta buy in and let yourself have your heart ripped out. A couple weeks ago, I made that point because that's what being a sports fan is all about. It's if you don't buy in and put yourself out there, you're just kind of half-assing it. And I was fully in on that last drive. I was fully in, and then that pick happened. And I think Paul brought up in the group chat the handshake between the coaches. By the time that ball was intercepted, I don't even think
game off.
I don't even think any graphics or words were said. The TV was off in a millisecond. Honestly, I saw that ball float up there. I'm like, oh boy.
A lot of doom.
Yeah.
Doom.
Yeah, I've seen this movie before. So yeah. Okay.
There's no mistake about it though. With this season, this is no longer a bonus season. The bar has been set for this season to after that run that the Bears went on with winning 9 out of 10. It's no longer a cherry on top. Anything that happens can happen. The bar has been set that this is a team that is ready to get into maybe the playoffs, not win, not at the final form, but you can't say that they shouldn't have a chance in every single game. And this was definitely one of them. And it being this close, it had the feeling of what we've seen all year of it's a comeback. We're gonna do it. We're gonna pull it off. And this is the first real time that we haven't felt that in these type of results. So it does bring you back down to earth a little bit. And it does bring you into the sense of every single game means something now if we are going to see some success in this season, meaning the playoffs. But I don't like the taking the mentality of, yes, it's good to see the Bears can still compete with the Packers. That's great. As long as you still have the ideal in your mind that this season is not lost because of it, we can still make the playoffs through that.
Yeah. And that's another thing is when I saw everybody talking about how it was the Bears played well. It was, it was what do you call it? A law, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They were saying that this is a good loss, a statement loss, whatever you want to call it. I don't believe in that at all. I don't you win, you want to win the game. Sure, there were things to build off of, which I agree with, but it wasn't I don't look at this as it was not a silver lining to me. Well, at least they played well. I've seen bad Bears teams take the Packers to the brink. I've seen, good Bears teams do the same. That doesn't do it for me anymore. I need to see the Bears beat the Packers, and that's really all it is. All there is to it. So, we got 13 days until the next Bears Packers game, and I think that is I'm gonna say it now. That's the most important Bears regular season game in my life.
Yeah,
it is.
That is it.
Because you lose this game, even if you limp into the playoffs and you lose this game, losing to the Packers twice in a playoff season kind of invalidates it, So got to win this game. Got to find a way to win this game.
Sure. And I guess that's where my fandom is kind of is slanted right now is, hey, yeah, I'm with you to the degree of you never want to get a loss. We need to eventually beat the damn Packers, but it hasn't sunk the ship yet. And I do feel good about the chances in 13 days when the Bears host the Packers. And like I said previously, if we lose that game, then I think that all of those feelings are completely valid. But let's take a deep breath. We haven't gotten to that point of losing 2. And again, if you could split with the Packers, one at home and lose one on the road, I think that's – I mean, the Packers are a good team. The Bears are a good team. And that's what you want to see. But going 0-2 it would be completely demoralizing, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Also, I do want to correct one thing. I said 13 days. It's actually 12 days because the Saturday night prime time.
Oh, Lord.
The Packers.
Yep.
No, not to put any more pressure on the game I just called the most important regular season game in my life. Standalone Saturday game. So, say your prayers.
Say your prayers.
The other standalone off game we had on a holiday sort of paid off.
Non-traditional Sunday. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm feeling slightly better.
Not fully. Are you off the ledge or are you slightly off the ledge? Or
I'm
neither?
looking at the ledge.
Okay.
I'm not at the ledge, but I'm like kind of looking out the window at the ledge. Thinking I wonder how that ledge is doing. Looks like a pretty nice ledge. But anyway, I am feeling a little bit better. We'll see what happens. We'll talk about this more on Thursday. I put in the notes at one point. This Browns game is a must win. You play the Packers again in 2 weeks. You cannot overlook this Browns team and just focus on the Packers in 2 weeks. This Browns game is an absolute must win with your schedule down the stretch. We'll talk obviously much more at length about that game on Thursday's show, but good God, you cannot overlook this team and lose to the Browns because that might even kind of preempt some of the Packers stuff. So anyway, okay.
Yeah, Eric's got a good comment in there. Wait 12 days until you decide to jump. I think that's the moral of the story.
No, yeah. Like I said, I'm safely in my house. I'm just looking out the window, trying to find a good spot on the ledge. That's all I'm doing.
There you go. Make sure the rope's not too long,
Yeah. Measure twice, cut once, one of those.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Let's get into the actual game. I feel better about it, so we can talk about it without me needing to take a break to cry. So good discussion though, boys. Appreciate you guys as always. Okay. So we alluded to this a little bit. The big thing about this game, it was a tale of two halves for the Bears offense. First half, calling it, I think I called it pedestrian at some point. It's not that. It was just bad. It was a bad offense in the first half. 118 total yards, 62 passing, 56 rushing, 3 total points. Just bad offense. The passing game felt very disjointed. I think Caleb missed his first 4 or 5 throws. It was just bad. It was ugly to watch. Nothing seemed to flow nicely. It was just an ugly watch from the Bears offense in the first half. A lot of credit to the Packers defense. The Packers do have a very good defensive unit, but either way, you got to figure that stuff out. Second half though, like you guys said, significantly better, pretty much doubled every single yardage number across the board. And they put up 18 points. So you guys said it, they kind of dominated the game in the second half. They definitely dominated the time of possession game in the second half. And they, I think the Packers I guess they scored 14 in the second half too, but Bears did they dominated the time of possession. So I don't know, offensively speaking, we're going to talk more offense. There's a whole section dedicated to it, but I don't know if there's anything you guys want to throw in there.
Well, I know we're going to talk about and break down the offense in a little bit, but I watched this game. It was my niece's 3rd birthday. Went over to my brother's place, watched it with my dad, my brother, and I can't tell you the amount of times in the first half that we were like, why can we just run the ball? Why are we running? Why are we not running the ball? And that was frustrating in the first half because then you saw them stick to that kind of game plan. And then Caleb kind of showed up in the second half too.
Yeah.
But I mean, that run game is what we wanted to see, is just like establish that run early, and it was working. But Caleb had so many dropbacks where he's just missing guys, and maybe people weren't getting open. But that was certainly very frustrating. I think that was probably in the mindset of every Bears fan watching that game, is just let's run the ball a little bit more in the first half, and instead of just get a first down, move the chains. So that was the immediate thing that jumped out to me when I was watching that one.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there 100%. This was it was a tough watch to watch the Bears offense in the first half.
Yeah.
If we want to kind of just do a general overview of the Bears defense really quick, I actually thought the Bears defense, my God, this game is going to set the record for the most turnovers. It's unbelievable. It's just crazy.
Why they're throwing the ball?
I don't know. I don't know.
So
I'm
bad.
telling you, how many times have we said this? We're deviating into the Eagles. But like, what is Sirianni doing? You're playing with a lead, and you have Saquon Barkley. Just run the. We're talking about us running around the ball. What the hell are they doing? Which I'm on a Chargers ticket, so I love it. I mean, make him throw.
It doesn't make any. It's his third He had a play where he had 2 turnovers on one play.
Yeah,
that almost never happens. Anyway, sorry. We'll touch.
Yeah.
On
So
that
guys,
as
again,
it comes up.
I've always said this too. It's like Caleb. At least he's not doing that on a game-to-game basis. When he misses, no one's catching the ball for the most part, except for 4th and 1 with 20 seconds left. But that's besides.
That's okay. Anyway, so Bears defense. I thought the Bears defense was like, if you look at like total number of defensive snaps versus the total number of defensive snaps that things looked good, I think the percentage is very high. I think there were probably 3 or 4 plays that's like really bad. Really bad. That 4, I can think of 4 off the top of my head. So there were, the Bears defense, I thought overall played well, but I do think because we knew this was going to be a problem at some point, and it kind of showed its head. It was like a bit difference in the game. The Bears' lack of an ability to get a pass rush with their front 4 really costed them in this game.
Yeah. Yep.
Because of this. Yeah. Sorry.
The great Yurko from ESPN 1000 put it perfectly today. He's like, yeah, Jordan Love had so much time he could read a newspaper, have a cup of coffee, do whatever the hell he wanted back there. And that really was a huge piece of it. You couple that with, and we'll get into this, I don't want to jump the gun, Nick, but you were even texting like, what are we doing playing man with 1 safety deep? Yeah. And when you can't get pressure, if you're going to bring 6 or 7 guys, you have to get to the quarterback in 2 seconds, or else anything he wants is going to be there. And you got some speedy guys and Christian Watson that are, matched up one-on-one against safeties. What are we doing? That's just not going to be successful. To see that happen multiple times. I mean, we're getting into the second half and we're still seeing 1 deep safety with man coverage underneath. It's like, that's not going to do it. So
yeah, the jailbreak blitz concept, like I don't think I've ever seen all 8 guys in the box rushing and a single guy not going free. And that happened like 3 times. That happened unbelievable. Like you saw everybody in the box, they were all coming, and they all got blocked by 5 to 6 guys. And that's I was
almost impossible. Yeah,
NFL
how
blitz,
did that
engage
happen?
8, and you're not sniffing any pressure. Not good.
Yeah. So like obviously when you send people, you're not going to have as many people in the back end to cover. So that's like the strategy. The whole point of a blitz, obviously, is to get as pressure as fast as possible so the quarterback doesn't have time to throw the ball deep. When your blitzes get picked up, as they did at a very high clip on this game, then you have some disadvantageous matchups on the back end, which the Packers took advantage of. So a couple, like the 23-yard touchdown to Christian Watson in the first half, the second quarter of the game. Kevin Byard's covering one of the fastest receivers in the league one-on-one. You're never going to win that matchup for the Bears.
No.
Like Kevin Byard's a great player. I like Kevin Byard a lot, but asking him to cover somebody with Christian Watson's speed is unfair to him, and it's putting him in a disadvantageous spot. Like he's not going to win that matchup. He's just not going to. And then 45-yard touchdown to Bo Melton, a person who I'd never heard of prior to this play. It's just this. Okay, so you got Jaquan Brisker, who's playing the deep offensive left half of the field in a cover 2. Nobody's covering the back deep, like offensive right half of the cover 2. Tom Brady on the broadcast thought that it was probably Jalen Johnson should have dropped back into coverage, but he kind of got caught up on like a mid-range like drag route. It was a really good concept by Matt LaFleur, and they just absolutely. I mean, when you have Jaquan Brisker almost knocked the ball away from 30 yards away, it would have been a crazy play by him, but that's not his responsibility. It's just a really good offensive scheme by the Packers against a blitz again by the Bears that just didn't get home. And then the 41-yard touch. This is, I think, the most egregious of all of them. 41-yard touchdown to Christian Watson, who scored his second touchdown of the game. You got, CJ Gardner-Johnson covering him one-on-one. He's your nickel that was, cut by three teams this year. He's been really good for the Bears, but coverage is not like what his strong suit is. He's a nickel. He's good in the zone. He's good at blitzing. He's actually a pretty good tackler. I think he had a pretty egregious missed tackle later in the game, but usually he's a pretty good tackler. Asking him to cover somebody with Christian Watson's speed is also not a good matchup for your defense. So these blitzes, when they don't get home, lead to these big plays. Those 3 plays right there, and then one other bad defensive play the Bears had was Josh Jacobs was on 3rd and 1. Looked like he was stopped a yard short of the yards to get. Somehow made 4 Bears players miss him and ended up getting 21 yards. Still, I've seen some screenshots of that today. Still blows my mind that man got 21 yards out of that because it looked like nothing. So those 4 plays right there, if you take those 4 plays out, I think the Bears win this game handily, but those 4 plays obviously happen, and we're looking at a loss. So like I said, the percentage of snaps the Bears defense did well, it was very high, but those 4 plays kill you. So
that's exactly it. I mean, that's the analysis spot on, Nick. There's 2 of those that I wanted to kind of have a little bit of an extra kind of word in about. In the long ball in the second half to Melton, and again, I think you even put it in the sheet is who? I'm with you. That's exactly what I said. Who the hell's that guy? At the time, I mean, what was that? A minute and 20 seconds or a minute and a half?
Less. It was like 40 seconds, I think.
40 seconds was yeah. So it's like that. There's one thing you can't do. If you got to give up 3 points, fine, but you play a type of a defense where you're not going to get beat over the top like that. So I was very upset by the play call there, but also that ball seemed to hang in the air for 20 seconds. Like it wasn't a great ball, but it didn't have to be. Obviously, it didn't have to be with the scheme that was dialed up there. And the performance is like in Brisker's coming up. I mean, I swear to God, I was like, how's that ball not getting intercepted? Because it was just lofted up shallow and behind, and he still was able to catch it. It was like, that was not Jordan Love's best ball, but it still put up 6 on the board. The other one,
really quick before you go to the other one, I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to bring it up, but I didn't want to be a hater, even though I shouldn't care. But I'm gonna since you brought it up, I'm gonna go ahead and add my 2 cents as well. People are like, if you see anybody talking about Jordan Love having a great game against the Bears, you're outing them as someone who didn't actually watch the game and just looking at the box score at the end of the game.
Yep.
Because at the end of the game, if you look at his box score, he's a very good game. 3 touchdowns. I think he only threw for he barely threw for 200 passing yards. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't a crazy number. I don't have it written down anywhere, but he threw 3 touchdowns, had the pick, but none of the touchdown passes that he threw were particularly, I guess the ball to Christian Watson, the second one, that was a pretty decent throw, but it was a 6-yard slant. It's right out. I mean, it was it was 6 yards in the air, maybe. But yeah, those 2 touchdowns that he threw early, the deep ones, they were, especially the one to Melton. That ball should have been thrown to the corner of the end zone for an easy walk-in touchdown, nobody within 10 yards of him. But instead, he just, I don't know. So I don't want to hear people talk about how good Jordan Love is. Like, yes, his stat line is not bad, but if you say that he had a great game, you just clearly weren't watching the game. That's all.
Yeah. I would say this, his good ball was to, I don't know if it was the first or the second one to Watson, deep over where Byard just didn't have a chance to catch up. And that was a good ball. The slant, anyone can throw that kind of a slant, and that just speaks to the defensive scheme. I don't know what we're doing in man coverage with a jailbreak blitz and no safety to be able to try to make a tackle. Yeah. And so like that, you get 50 yards from that on an easy wide open over the middle slant. It's like, okay, I mean, I'm not trying to take away from Jordan Love. He played a game in B. Yeah, that's fair. But like we weren't beat by outstanding quarterback play is the point. I think we kind of beat ourselves to a certain degree. So I'm glad you brought that up, Nick, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I was trying to kind of allude to is like there were some bad balls. That interception on the first possession was hilariously bad. And even the ones that paid off were like, it's okay, fine. The second play that I wanted to really talk about was the Josh Jacobs rush on their kind of game-winning drive. And I mean, the screenshot that we were seeing when I was watching with my dad said it perfectly. Like, these guys look like the three fucking stooges. They all tackled each other except the ball carrier. And it's like they had them dead to rights 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Three people with an opportunity. And I don't know if it's a lack of effort, and because it wasn't even a great move. They just didn't tackle him. Yeah. And that was frustrating because I think that was a theme throughout the game too, is that even some of the defensive backs and the linebackers, like, can someone just want to hit somebody? Can someone just want to hit somebody and be physical on the defensive side of the ball? And that ultimately kind of culminated into that play, which kind of won the game. It was that Josh Jacobs run, in my opinion. So that was frustrating. But Nick, you put it so well. It's like, yeah, percentage-wise, the defense played a lot of good percentages, but you let up 4 quote-unquote explosive plays like that, and it's going to be tough sledding to win a game.
Yep. Yeah. So, again, we're going to touch on more offense and defensive. Oh, I thought I threw another pick just now. Sorry. We're going to touch on more of this stuff as we go. But really quick, before we really dive into the offense, I do want to shout out the Bears offensive line. We're going to give them credit later on as well. But, man, the faces on the Packers defensive linemen towards the end of that game, especially when the Bears scored that their last touchdown of the game on that, 15, 17 play drive, whatever it was, they looked like they wanted to be anywhere else but there. Mm-hmm. They did not look like they wanted to get hit anymore. They looked like they had enough. So I wish we would have ran the ball more in the first half because it felt like it did eventually. I mean, they may not have had the success we wanted, but you're just kind of, every run play takes a little bit of energy out of the run defense. By the end of the game, you could see the Packers' faces. They had no part of it. So shout out to the Bears offensive line. Also, 1 sack on the day. Again, and it wasn't even Micah Parsons. Not to say they didn't get any pressure, obviously. We'll talk about that in a second. But only 1 sack. So all in all, I thought the offensive line played really well.
Yeah, they were mauling on the run side. And we'll talk about the pass protection. And Caleb deserves a lot of credit for getting out of a lot of pressures. But you're spot on. I mean, the Packers front four was completely gassed at the end of the game. Another reason why I wanted to establish that run in the first half, because you do that and just grinds them down, and it did.
Yeah. I don't know, Drew, do you have anything to add?
I mean, we're going to get into more of the breakdown, but yeah. I think a lot of what gassed them too is just chasing around Caleb for Definitely. 4 quarters. I think Micah Parsons was asked. Micah Parsons was asked by a reporter at the end of the game. She said, "How frustrating was it to chase around Caleb Williams for 4 quarters?" And he said, "Extremely frustrating, especially if you're just going to design rollouts all day. I can't get him. I can't grab him." Especially when we had the ball for that long and they were trying to tackle him for that long, and even some of the designed rollouts that Caleb had, I feel like he could have chunked off more yardage at times, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. It was good to see that the defensive line for the Packers didn't really have a highlight reel on us, because that's what we were mainly afraid of.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, to kind of dive back into the offense a little bit more in depth, I do want to talk a little bit more about Caleb, because I think the Caleb's game was a very interesting game from Caleb this game. So we mentioned it at the start, the offense as a whole started off bad, and I think the offense started bad because they were trying to throw too much and the passing game just wasn't there in the first half. So off to a bad start in the first half. It did get better in the second half, with a couple elite moments sprinkled in there. Like I said, very disjointed at the beginning, constant pressure in Caleb's face. That really never changed the rest of the game, but he was able to kind of maneuver around and avoid it a little bit more. He did seem to find his groove a little bit in the second half, though. He's throwing, like, we'll get to the highlight elite plays in a second, but just talking about like straight drop back and throws, he had some very nice throws that I was very encouraged by. He had some throws to Loveland. He had some throws to our guy rookie, whose name I don't know why I can't think. Luther Burden. Some absolute dimes to Luther Burden. There was a throw I have listed, it was to Loveland, but I think it was actually to Burden. He threw a ball perfectly over the linebacker and dropped it right in a bucket for Luther Burden, and he made like a guy miss and then ended up getting like 20 yards on it. Stuff like that is like, the highlight top of the line stuff is really cool to look at, but watching just like normal plays where Caleb drops back, reads the defense, finds his open guy, makes a perfect throw, that's what gets me excited. Just need to see that on a more consistent basis. So
yeah, 3 to 5. What Jordan Love, I think, does best, a 3-step or 5-step drop, hit his back foot, and then he's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Caleb does absolutely horribly. And that's what I want. I mean, like, I would love the contrast in the game there for Caleb to change, because I am not confident right now in back. Okay, my first read, I'm going to throw it to. That ball isn't going to be thrown 5 yards wayward either side or 10 yards over the person's head into zero space. So, yeah, it is frustrating to watch when it looks like Caleb has a quick read and is going to throw the ball. I feel like that's almost going to be more incomplete at a higher percentage than when he's scrambling and throwing the ball, rocketing a fastball impromptu.
Yeah. It was nice to see some touch over a linebacker, right? And in touch is something that Caleb's been struggling with. And in touch is something that Jordan Love was excelling at. Like, he was able to put it over the linebacker's head and put the right velocity and angle on the ball. And Caleb's kind of got the super fastball or the super changeup, just throw it straight up to the sky. And even that touchdown, I mean, and again, this is way too nitpicky, but the touchdown to Loveland, and he had all day, so you can do whatever you want there. But it's like, holy shit, that ball's up in the air for a long time. Like, Loveland's probably thinking, I got to make this catch rather than just catching the ball. He had
to come like 3 yards out of the end zone.
I know. It's like the super safe lob. It's like, oh my god, I know you have time, but my lord, you don't have to put it into the rafters.
That throw was very scary when it was in the air. Like, oh god, he did not throw a touchdown. It's wide open.
Yeah, like he's really wide open. Like, just throw it to him. Just throw it to him. So those are the kind of things. But you take the good with the bad with Caleb, because what Caleb is excelling at is he's slippery as hell. And I mean, it was not for a lack of pressure from the Packers, right? I mean, they were in the backfield a lot, and he's just has that escapability that makes him, that's another thing that I was saying is like, it was actually a funny conversation that I had with my dad. I was like, this is the kind of stuff that, like, if Caleb can find the touch and the accuracy, he's got that Mahomes escapability that you can extend it play and ad lib, and that's what his biggest strength is. But once you have that escapability, you got to be able to find someone and put the ball on him. And listen, I can't harp on him too much, because at the end of the day, he probably should have been sacked 4 or 5 times, and he wasn't. And he made some Superman plays. But we've talked about it ad nauseum in this season. It's like, you make the hard stuff look easy and the easy stuff look hard. And we need to see that easy stuff look easy. And that's when the Bears are really going to be able to excel.
Yeah, no, that's well said. I think that's spot on. The easy stuff does seem to give the most trouble, and the hard stuff, you look, the throw to Komet down the sideline it's like elite stuff. You watch that and you're like, wow, this dude is like, this is why we're excited about him, because he's such an elite thrower on the move. The throw to Zacchaeus in the end zone. I thought that was intercepted.
Yeah, why are we even throwing that? I was going like this, hands on my head, like, why are we even throwing that ball? It's 1st and 1 from the goal line. You don't need to force that one in there. But he did it.
He did it. So it's, stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. It's like you take, like the good stuff is so good, and then like you just you clean up. Like the good thing is that, like, like there's a lot of quarterbacks that come into the league. They can check down, they can throw the intermediate stuff. They don't have that elite level. They can't step up to that elite level. That's not something you necessarily teach. So the fact that he's kind of got that part down already, and you just got to learn how to throw the easy stuff. Like, I feel much more confident in that than I would say, like, a quarterback who just, like, I can't think of a good example, like a Kirk Cousins type or whatever, who's like, okay, I can throw the ball middle of the field all day, but when it comes to, like, scrambling, I'm in trouble. So I'll take the elite high upside, learn the easy stuff later.
Yeah.
But I'd like him to learn it sooner than later, personally.
yeah. Like now.
Yeah, like today. Like practice tomorrow. So, but okay. So we touched on, disjointed, got better, had some great stuff. Tackle that man. Okay. All right. Sorry. We have to talk about the elephant in the room. We've already alluded to it a few times. The interception at the end of the game. I have some bullet points here listed out. I want to hear from you guys. I mean, how I was feeling. I turned the TV off and I just went and just became a shell of a human being for about 6 hours. I don't know not necessarily what were you guys doing, but like, I don't know, what did you see? Drew, what did you see on that play?
Did you say me?
Yeah, Drew, sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. First off, I need to berate somebody. Okay. He probably won't listen to this, but I'm going to berate him. You both know him as Decoy. He has one of the quickest either internet or bunny ears or something that got him the play first and sent it into a this is what I hate is sometimes when you're watching games like this or you're watching other games, it's okay if somebody's ahead of another. But when you're watching your game, you're watching your team, you don't spoil something. Like, you don't go into it. Like, come on, man. Because I saw his text come through, and the Bears had not even snapped the ball. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And it was like, he goes, oh, what was that? And I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, I know it's happening. Yeah.
That sucks.
So, terrible. So Decoy, figure it out, do something. I don't know. Be on a 5-second delay anytime you send a text out. But just that play in general, the number one thing for me is Caleb, when you need a fastball, like we've been asking him all year to find some touch, to find this, wide receiver that's wide open. Okay, loft it over a cornerback. And when you need your fastball, your go-to throw. Yeah, thank God that was dropped. When you need your go-to throw, your go-to on the numbers, you throw a lob. I just, man, it's just what if the kid could do one more thing, could get it right altogether. I think the number one thing that really stood out for me, though, is that was the same exact play that they ran against Philadelphia. When Kmet, there just wasn't enough space. There wasn't enough space in the field to throw that because Kmet had whoever the cornerback burned by at least a yard or two, but you can't throw that towards the back of the end zone and be a catch. Yeah, it's 4th down too, so you can't throw it away, you can't do anything. There just wasn't enough depth of yards. Great play call, great scheme. Caleb needs to either have the ball out earlier or throw the frozen rope that we know he can do. I've seen so many things, and Nick, you have it down here, and Jay, you're going to talk about it too. I've seen so many things of DJ was open. He was going to be open in the flat. There's a guy on a spy, and there was a guy running at him in his face, and that window is much, much tighter. You're looking at it from the outside field view from the 50 of the opposite sideline. You don't know what Caleb's seeing there. Like, he doesn't have an arm slot that I think can fit that throw. So just a hard last minute decision on Caleb, and he unfortunately just didn't have it. on that one. But yeah, I'm interested to hear what both of you guys have to say on all of the perspectives that we've seen from that last play.
Yeah, Drew, I think you're spot on. I think for me, it was like, oh man, it's that loser's remorse or the hindsight of, 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. You just wanted to see the first down get gotten, and it wasn't. And I was like, all right, just can we run it one more time? Can we do a smash mouth? Is that? But the play call was fair. It was honestly well defended too, because you had the option for run or pass, right? And that was working quite a bit. But and maybe it is a hindsight for me where the play didn't work out, but I kind of wanted to see him just smash the ball again and try to just pick up the first down, call a timeout, and then reset and have 3 more tries to put it in the end zone. Probably an unfair analysis. And again, just the benefit of hindsight. But I mean, that run game to try to just get a yard, I think they could have done it there. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, Jay, that's kind of my main takeaway was that, you guys both said, like, you can play hindsight all you want. The play worked as drawn up for the most part. If you read Caleb's eyes when he's rolling out to his left, primary read is Swift, who has got 2 guys draped on him, can't throw it there. Secondary read is DJ Moore, who gets kind of mucked up in the whatever you want to call it, like the pile of the bunch of humans. Like Drew said, there's a spy over top. There's somebody that's just, right there. Like that throw is going to get batted down or intercepted as well. The only thing you can say about that play, I think Caleb made the right read 100%. I think the only thing you can say about it is if he just gets to him a little bit, like a second earlier, that's an easy touchdown. So that's something you can take away from it, I guess, but great play call. Executed perfectly, minus like just again late on the getting to the third read. I do think a run with Monungai, who has shown that you put him in there, he's not going to go down the first guy, except for that one time when he just got absolutely fucking popped and his helmet broke. That was
helmet
nuts.
Colliding,
and he actually didn't even go down. Then he actually
I was going to say he laid the pop. I mean, everyone's helmet just exploded in that collision.
So yeah, you put Kyle Monunga, you put him right between the guard and the tackle on just a draw, a trap, a power, whatever you want to call it. I think you're probably getting that first down. You have 2 timeouts left. You burn a timeout. You got 30 seconds left. First and 10 from like the 12-yard line. You got 3 plays at the end zone. I think that's the way you play it. But again, you can't play hindsight. It is what it is. The interception was really just the most deflating play of the season so far.
Yeah.
But it happens, and
it
happened. Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, no. The other thing too that I completely understand the play call, although I would have liked to see it Caleb's throwing side, not his non-throwing side. Rollout is that his rollouts, their play action rollouts had worked at least 2 to 3 other times, where the end bit and he was able to roll out and run for a first down. I think that's where the concept is to this too, is he's got passing options. He has rushing options. If he can beat to the corner, he's going to beat to the corner. That's what confused me the most, is it seemed like, yes, we did a play action rollout for sure, and pass was the first option when the run had worked so many times. If you give that to his passing side, his normal rollout side, then you have more of an option for him to beat somebody to a yard. That's it. On his on the weak side for him, that's less likely and probably not going to happen.
I think that is another reason why I kind of wanted him to just run the ball there, to be honest with you, because I think they've kind of in the chess match of that entire game, it's like, okay, the Caleb rollout on a 3rd and short or 4th and short it becomes a little bit more predictable there. That was defended. It was defended pretty well, right? I mean, and Nick, you kind of hit it on the mark. It's like, okay, well, the option that was available was the 3rd read there, right? And you look where Caleb was rolling out. It's against the grain. There's 3 Packers, 2 of them, the spies on Caleb, and he doesn't have that run option is just immediately taken out of the game. So you got to go through those progressions very quickly. And I think if you just, make it easy, hand the ball off, see if who's gonna move the sled, who's gonna get that yard. And sometimes you just got to kind of go back to the basics there. And again, I'm even playing this out of my head like that. That is such a hindsight thing that I'm doing, but I really would have loved to see the run there.
Yeah, I think that there's something very just like basic football about like, hey, you want this game to go on? You want to have a chance to win this game? Prove you can get a yard. You know what I mean?
That's
Prove you
it.
can run the ball up there and get a yard. And if you can't, the game's over and the better team wins. And if you can, you get to play on and have a shot at winning. There's something about that just kind of feels like just classic football, and I think that that's kind of what I wanted to see in that moment. But again, I'm not gonna fault it too much because the play worked. You just got to get to that read a little bit faster, and I think that happens, you win the game. So, or I don't know if you win the game, you score a touchdown. I don't know. People were saying
we're gonna go for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ben said you were gonna go for 2.
Yeah,
that would have been. I think I would have gotten to where you guys were at the end of the game if the Bears would have scored that touchdown and then missed the 2-point conversion. I think I'd be like, you know what? That's fine. It is what it is. But anyway, doesn't matter. So, yeah, I mean, we talked at length about Caleb and just the throwing of the ball just now. We're going to the receivers. I mean, Caleb, again, spreading the ball out. 7 people caught a pass. I do want to point out DJ Moore had 1 catch for -4 yards. And it was on that weird reverse where he ran right into the defensive end and almost fumbled.
Yeah.
What's going on with DJ Moore? DJ Moore last year was pretty good. And you look back to his year with Fields, and he had over 1,000 yards. He was one of the best. He was top 15 receiver in the league. Maybe not, but he was up there, top 20. What's going on with DJ Moore? Is this age? Is this scheme? Is this...
I don't know, Nick.
He doesn't fit in with a team. He doesn't like it here. I don't know.
Nick, I think that's the question, is because I don't know either. And I don't know if anyone knows it, but it seems like it's scheme. It does. Yeah. It seems like it's scheme where, hey, if you're defensive planning against DJ, you kind of see the tape. It's like, all right, screens and get the ball. He's not running wide receiver 1 routes. Oh, it almost seems, right? Where he's not the primary option on a lot of these plays, not running, 10-yard ins and 10-yard outs and things like that. So I don't know what it is, but it's got to be frustrating for DJ too. I mean, he's getting paid wide receiver 1 money, but he's not being utilized like a wide receiver 1. And he clearly isn't. I mean, that was a game too with Rome out where, okay, well, DJ should eat a little bit, and it's certainly more than 1 catch for -4 yards. But he clearly isn't the number 1 wide receiver on this team, right? I think that's just obvious.
Yeah.
Don't know why though.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just you see the wide receivers and you get excited, especially with Rome out, and just DJ Moore just kind of a no-show, kind of surprising. So I don't know. But Luther Burden did lead the team in receiving yards, which again, I don't know. Nothing against DJ Moore, but I do like seeing the young guys being really in the mix in the passing game. You got Loveland, 4 catches for 29 yards and a touchdown. Burden, 4 catches, 67 yards. I love seeing Luther Burden utilizing the passing game. I think he's going to be an absolute stud when it's all said and done. So, if DJ Moore thing doesn't really work out, I don't know if he has any value right now. I would imagine probably not, but maybe this offseason you can look to shop him a little bit and see if you can get something for him. But I don't think that return would be very much at this point, especially with his contract situation. But, either way, Bears are passing the ball to a lot of receivers. I would just like to see it be a more efficient unit. That's all. Just start the game hot, throw some easy stuff to start and connect on it, move the chains in the first half. But what they probably should have done in the first half to move the chains a little bit is run the ball a little bit more, because they just, I don't know, like if you look at I'm looking at the numbers right now in the first half, they ran for 56 rushing yards in the first. I don't know how many carries they got in the first half, but you put up 56 rushing yards in the first half. That's not a terrible number. And I don't think they ran it enough. So they did, they didn't have a lot of plays. I mean, they didn't have a lot of rushes in the first half. So to grind out 56 on the amount of attempts that they had, they were moving the ball when they were running. Yeah. yeah, I don't know. I don't, yeah, they were. And the running game, it was pretty good. They, both running backs averaged about 5 yards a carry, a little bit above 5 yards a carry. Swift was 15 for 74 yards, 5.3 average. Monungai, 10 rushes, 52 yards, 5.2 average. So you're averaging over 5 yards a carry with your two backs, which you're going to take that every game. Like that's
every
unbelievable.
game.
You'll take that all the time. So 5 yards, that's a whole yard more than like a good number, So I'll take that all the time. So definitely need to keep the run game involved. And again, averaging 5 yards a carry, 4th and 1, maybe run the ball. But I do again want to come back around to the offensive line, because while they gave up 1 sack, we mentioned a lot of Caleb's escapability had a lot to do with that. The offensive line just pushed this Packers defense around, and Tom Brady said as many times during the broadcast that the Packers, the best thing they do on defense is stop the outside, like the zone run game, like the off the tackle run game. And the Bears, I don't want to say they did it whenever they wanted to, but they felt like they could get a couple yards, and like they were going to start off like second and 6, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4 if they ran the ball on first down, like every time. So like, to do that against the Packers defense, that's a pretty elite unit. I'm very happy with the Bears offensive line.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. So all that to say, run the ball more, but we'll get it. We'll talk about that. Hopefully we'll dive into the game planning for the Browns on Thursday, but I think they should run the ball more. Defense, it seemed like we talked about earlier, the strategy seemed to be just get pressure on Jordan Love, a strategy that was failed pretty epically, but that was their game plan. Get pressure, whether you get it with the front four or you manufacture through the blitz. Neither worked. 11 pressures on 25 pass attempts, 5 QB hits, 1 sack. Montez did get his sack. It was a big sack because it put him back. They had to throw deep on 3rd down. That's when Jordan Love threw his first quarter interception. So that was good, but we just didn't see any more of that. There was no sustained pass rush by any means in this game. But yeah, we've been talking about all season. The lack of a pass rush is kind of the downfall of this team. It's definitely like the weakest part of the team. Oh, I didn't want this game to go to overtime. That sucks. Anyway.
Yeah, the going forward against Jordan Love it has to be he is not being able to plant his feet and throw the ball. Get him on the run, because when you saw him on the run and moving out of the pocket, that's when Jordan Love throws the ball out of bounds 95% of the time. So like pressure needs I don't care where it comes from. Figure it out. That needs to be something that changes big time. Nick, your second point there is something I did want to touch on, but I'm going to let you take it first.
Oh, Kyler Gordon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you were wondering why, because I don't know if I heard this really mentioned the broadcast at all, I will acknowledge I was kind of doing things around the house, so I didn't hear every single play. I was locked in, but I had the volume down, people screaming. But I don't know if they mentioned the broadcast, but I remember I was looking at in the middle of the second quarter. I'm like, wait, I didn't see Kyler Gordon on the injury report at all this week. What's going on? Why is he not playing? I haven't seen him once. Looked into it, re-aggravated his injury during the pregame warmups and did not play. Which really, that hurts when you lose Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, apologies. Been looking forward to getting him back all season. Comes back, plays a game, has a decent enough game, and he's out again. These soft tissue injuries are not a joke. They just don't go away.
Yeah, and you threw up the stat, what was it, last week? With Bears record when Kyler's playing versus when he's not. And this was a huge game because the Packers' entire receiving corps back healthy. Jaden Reed's back, and Watson, just had his way with us on those 2 big plays. And Kyler Gordon goes a long way to help shore up that kind of pressure and alleviate some of those safety one-on-one matchups, right? And listen, not to deviate away too much from Kyler, because if you guys have additional points, go at it. But I want to get you guys' take on Jalen Johnson's performance too, because he didn't look like he was playing like the elite paid corner that we paid him money for that game. I'll be honest with you. and that was not something. I mean, that was visible by just watching the game leisurely, in my opinion. And I know sorry, Drew. I know that one play when Brisker to what's his name? I already forgot the Packers name who caught the damn touchdown pass, and you know, I think Tom Brady was even saying like Jalen Johnson's got to drop back there. Whatever, that's fine. That's one play, but like it just didn't look like he was showing up ready to play hard. You know what I mean? And I don't want to take that lazy fan route, but I don't know. I would have expected a lot more from Jalen in that game.
The biggest thing is nagging injuries in the cold don't do well, and that was definitely apparent when I heard Kyler was not playing. It was actually in the pre-game that Howie and Terry and all of those guys were going over, and because Kyler was deemed playing this week and then re-aggravated when they were starting. Jalen, there were several times too where I forget who the backup cornerback is, because he replaced Nashawn Wright when Nashawn got injured for a second. I forgot who that. And I was like, who the heck is this guy? What?
McLeod?
McLeod. Yes. Thank you. Because McLeod came in for Jalen a couple of times too, because Jalen was seemingly either gassed or had a little bit of a pull in his groin or something like that. Yeah.
He just looked rusty.
It's not great.
Yeah, he did. And I think it's fair because, he hasn't played much this season,
Yeah.
So
yeah. But the Kyler thing that I wanted to touch on is it was Kyler is a different beast than CJ Gardner-Johnson. CJ Gardner-Johnson has been great. Don't get me wrong. I'm very much appreciative for the work that he has done. And that guy runs the hole, hits people very, very hard, does a job that you want to see out of a nickel. Kyler is just a different athletic nickel that you can't substitute, because some of those over the middle, like the Christian Watson play for me was the number one standout of where CJ Gardner-Johnson does not do well. He doesn't catch up to athletic wide receivers that might have a step on him. He's not going to catch him. He's not great in coverage. He's a guy that's going to go out and hit people, fill gaps. And I appreciate him for that. But Kyler Gordon needs to be there for us when we're going to be doing things like all-out blitzes, because his coverage is second to none when that's happening.
That's a great point, Drew.
Yeah. So Kyler not being out there really, I think, hurt the Bears defense. Definitely probably helped there. Definitely didn't help with the big plays, like Drew just said. Like you also mentioned, Jalen Johnson, he was back. Didn't really seem like himself. Missed some time during the game. Only played 2/3 of the game. He's coming off a groin injury as well. So don't know if he had some rust, if he still got a nagging injury. I don't know. I'm not sure what was going on, but it definitely seemed like he wasn't himself out there, which I guess is to be expected. So, it's good to get the guys back healthy, but, need to contribute and need to make sure you know what you're doing when you're out there. Because I do think that touchdown to Bo something.
Bo Melton.
Big Bo Melton.
Bo knows.
Touchdown to Bo Melton should not have been a touchdown. So especially that late in the anyway. Don't need to rehash that. So, you come back, make sure you know what you're doing. But TJ Edwards, he was back. It did feel like his impact was felt on the plays he was in. I thought that he came back and he knew exactly where he needed to be, and he was making some tackles out there. So that's good to see. That dude's a tackling machine. So if you get him back in the fold, that's super helpful, especially to your absolute depleted linebacking core. So seeing him out there was a nice thing to see for sure. But yeah, all in all, Packers only outgained the Bears by 20 yards in the total of the game. So
which is crazy, because in the first half, I couldn't believe we were only down by 11 points, to be honest with you. It felt like we were just getting dominated.
Yeah. And it's, big plays will do that, but that's really all the Packers did this game was those big plays. Outside of those big plays, they were very, very vanilla. They didn't really do a whole lot. Nothing really. There was really not any. Really, they had the one long sustained drive. Besides that, it was just 3 big plays. So the Bears defense, I thought, played pretty well overall.
Yeah.
So, and just a couple injuries. We've already touched on it. Kyler Gordon didn't play. He got hurt in pregame. Nahshon Wright got kicked in the jaw. Did he come back in the game?
Yeah.
It was pretty late in the game. I'm not sure if he came back in.
I don't know if he came back in either.
I think
that
he
was
did, but that
a
looked
little
like
scary.
That looked like a UFC wheel kick.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was.
Yeah.
And the way that first glance, I didn't exactly see how he got hurt. I just saw him like going down and grabbing his like jaw and his head. I'm like, what what could have possibly caused that? And then, he took a heel to the chin. That'll do it.
He probably just bit his tongue off.
Yeah, right. So that, hopefully he's okay. And then Gravon Dexter, he was in the medical tent for a little bit in the fourth quarter. Again, don't know if he came back in. It actually happened on that Josh Jacobs run where he made the 4 Bears fall down really embarrassingly. He was one of them. He fell down, went to the medical tent. I don't remember if he came back in or not, but something worth monitoring on the injury report this week. So injury-wise, I think as long as Nahshon Wright is good to go, if we can get, Kyler Gordon, feel like we've been saying this all year, but if we can get him back, I think we're good. But, I think at this point, probably can't count on him coming back at any point this season. But, injury-wise, I think we came out okay. And just, we've been kind of finishing up the Bears Bears reviews every single week by just looking at that schedule coming up. Got Cleveland this week. Got to take care of business against Cleveland. Absolutely have to. It's an absolute must-win game for the Bears. And then you got home against the Packers, at San Francisco, home against the Lions to finish your season. So this Browns game is a very important game. Need to win this game. Honestly, they might need to win 3 of these 4.
I was gonna say it's 2 at minimum, right? It's 2 at minimum,
definitely.
And the Browns is an absolute must win, and it's got like the scary part is it's got like all of the makings of a trap game. It just absolutely does. So I'm almost more nervous about the Cleveland game than the Packers game. Not to look too far ahead, but truly, like you gotta win you gotta win the game ahead of you. So hopefully that's the message from the coaching staff is like, this is the next game. You have to win it. So do not overlook these Browns, because that is a vicious defense. Oddly enough, I never thought I was going to say this season, but Shadur's looking okay and maybe even better than okay, which is a bummer. Why can't we play the Browns with Dylan Gabriel? That would be cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Well,
for sure.
The other aspect too is, although we were competing with them last week and took first place over the last week, we are now LA Rams fans, big time, because Detroit is going to LA.
Yeah.
This weekend. So that is
great point.
You get an extra little gap of a win there, and you're looking at, okay, just got to potentially win one more, and you have the final matchup with Detroit. But yeah, every game means something, especially this upcoming one against Detroit, because this is a team you could very, very quickly overlook.
You want to play a look too far ahead. I know we're going to dissect this matchup against the Browns next week, so I don't want to spend too much breath and air on this, but do you guys know what the line is for the Bears against the Browns off the top of your head?
Bears 4.5,
6.5,
7.5.
Oh, that's a big number.
That's a big number.
That's a big number.
That's terrifying, because I'm with you. I would have thought 4.5, Nick.
What's the over under?
Let me check.
Do you have that? Sorry.
Yep. No, you're good.
Gotta be 41.
Any guesses?
41.5.
It's got to be
what do you got?
Higher than that. If it's 7.5, it's got to be like 43.5, 44.5.
40.5.
At 7.5 spread. Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's a big spread for that.
Some spread, huh?
Yeah, some spread. All right. Okay. Well, we have that to look forward to on Thursday. I'm sure we'll break that down. We'll see if that line changes at all between now and Thursday.
-6 wind chill on Sunday, boys. Just so you know.
Ooh, yeah, dog.
So there you go. They've already looked at the.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yep.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh boy. Well, that'll be a day I don't leave the house. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But anyway, so that that'll do it for our Bears stuff. So let's go ahead. Let's go around the horn really quick and let's grade this thing out. I feel like I usually kick it to you guys first. I'm going to start this one actually, if you don't mind, just because I want to. So Bears offense came alive in the second half. The run game looks really good. The pass game, the fact that it looked as bad as it did in the first half, and then the interception at the end of the game when it really needed it. I'm going to give the Bears offense a C+ in this game because the run game was good. And then the Bears defense, I'm actually going to give the Bears defense also a C+ because even though they were good most of the game, they let up some very big plays and they ultimately lost the game because of it. So overall, Bears are going to get a solid C+. So that's where I put the effort on this game.
Cool. I mean, C+ and a loss is, there's reason for optimism there, I would say.
Yeah. And a close loss by 1 score. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Drew, you want to take it?
Yeah, Drew, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I'm a little bit more. I'm a little bit harder on the defense this week. I'm in the D category for the defense. Too many big plays. Not enough takeaways. Yeah, you did something at the beginning of the game. Your offense was not cashing in. But what has given this defense success is taking the ball away in opportune times. That died really quickly. And there were too many back end big plays for Green Bay. So I'm in the D for the defense. Obviously, we lost the game and gave up 28 points. So that was a little tough. For the offense, I'm a C-. You cannot play 2 quarters of football as an offense in the National Football League. Yes, they played very, very well and controlled the pace of the game, but it didn't result in a win, so I can't give them above a C. And I think there is just too much lacking in that first quarter. So overall, for me, it's just a C- total weighted game. Lost it, needed a better effort through 4 quarters, and
yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm going to kind of split where you guys are kind of both ways. So the defense for me is a C-. I think I side with both of you, right? In the sense that the defense showed up for the most part. I think, Nick, you put it kind of perfectly. A large majority of the plays were good, but you give up 3 or 4 explosives and you hang up 28 points. That's hard to justify. I'm going to give them a C-. I'm going to give the Bears offense a C. I mean, if we were only doing the second half, it's in A territory, and the first half is in F territory. So I'm just going to split that, give them a C, and I'll give them a overall a C for the game, right? Not a C+, not a C-. They showed up. It was truly a 1-possession game, 4th and 1. Had a chance to try to go for 2 if you converted that touchdown. It's very close. Good opponent on the road. C game.
Yeah, I think these are all fair grades. One thing I do want to say actually really quick. I meant to call it out earlier. I love the way Ben Johnson handled the clock in that last drive. I really do. He had all his timeouts left, and he was going to say, we're going to live and die with this drive. We're not going to give you any time left on the clock. This is going to be the last drive of the game for good, for better, for worse. And I really like the way that all went down. I love the way that Ben Johnson is dedicated in the second half to not burning timeouts on anything other than end of game situations. Maybe that'll come back and bite us someday, but I would rather have him in the end of the game than burning a timeout in the third quarter because of a potential delay of game. I don't think 5 yards is worth that. But I really just want to say that the way that he handled the clock in the last few minutes, I really liked it. And if they would have scored on that play, I thought it would have been really, really good.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, something to be desired that we haven't seen in the past a lot.
Whenever clock management's brought up, I just think of Eberflus's last game against Detroit with zeros on the clock, and everyone's just, what? But no, I mean,
staring at the other, like, what happened?
Time expires in football games. That's weird. Never knew that. But yeah, I agree, because especially Nick, with the kickoff rules being what they are, it's like you can pretty much chalk the Packers being up on the 35-yard line. If you have a minute left, it's doom.
Yeah. So I just thought of that, and I want to make sure we get that in there before we move on to around the league. So if there's nothing else about the Bears, you guys, yep.
One last thing. Nick, you touched on it very briefly at the beginning of all of this. And I don't know if it's worth really, really touching on in detail, but the handshake at the end of the game. This is in my opinion, like, yeah, all the Green Bay fans want to say like, yeah, talk your shit. This is my coach walking up and just being like, yeah, talk your shit, boy. We just won, whatever. More than that, like, this is two coaches that see each other as already like formidable foes, and they're going to be playing each other for years upon years upon years. And they don't have to be friends. They don't have to like each other. I almost prefer that they don't like each other. So that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see every single time. That doesn't mean anything. You don't need to read into it like somebody beat the wheels off of somebody and like, we're better than you. It's just two guys that are literally in competition with each other. And they're just saying, you know what? Great. Awesome. We have to do this. We're on. And I want to see that out of both coaches. Because honestly, like, if you guys think about it in deeper detail, essentially these two want to beat each other so bad that the other doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I take out of that, of two guys. They meet at the field for a formality because they have to. They're not going to hug each other. They're not going to kiss each other. Not going to say, good game. I liked your scheme. I liked all the shit you were doing. No, it's a handshake. Great. We're gone. Done. That's what two men who are trying to beat the wheels off of each other are going to do.
I think that's perfectly said, Drew. I think, but the media wants to kind of just dissect anything that they can get into there. No harm, no foul.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see, obviously, like I said many times, I turned the game off as soon as the interception happened. Paul texted the group like, oh, did you see the handshake? And I was honestly, I didn't look at it till today because I was like, I don't want to deal with this today.
Yep. Yeah, same boat.
And I watched the video. I'm like, oh, that's like the biggest nothing burger I've ever seen in my life. Like, yeah, there was no malice, nothing. It's just two guys that probably aren't super fond of each other, and they just did the cordial thing and walked away. Like, I was confused as to why people make a big deal about it, to be honest with you.
Agreed.
But, all right. Well, that'll do it for Bears talk. Appreciate you guys for this little therapy session. So let's go around the league where literally nobody did us any favors. So Jay, let's go ahead and go around the league.
Yeah. Nick, you hit it, right? And we let off the show, I think, even saying like it was truly worst case scenario of win-loss results this week for the Bears. From 1st to 7th in the NFC, you had Seattle win, the Rams win, 49ers on a bye, the Lions win, the Packers win. It was that's how you drop from 1st seed to 7th seed, just like that. Well, let's go bigger picture now as well. Outside of just the North, we'll hit on the games that occurred in the North as well. But do we still think that there's a chance that the Bears can take on the overall NFC? The Rams are kind of cooking. Again, the Rams, Detroit next week is going to be huge. We'll talk about that more in depth on the next show. But let's just kind of keep it big picture. Nick, I'll throw it over to you. Can the Bears take on the NFC after this loss with the Packers?
Are you saying can they be the 1 seed? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
Ship has sailed. The ship has sailed.
Yeah,
I know. You've seen your reaction. For the first time in my life, I've been ahead of you guys, and I wasn't going to say anything. Especially after Nick or Drew called out decoy for spoiling things. I was like, I'm never in this position. I'm gonna let you guys come
Holy
across that
shit.
one naturally. But yeah, Nick,
I made the playoffs. Congratulations to me. Appreciate
Way
it.
to
go, kid.
Sucks
Love
to be
it.
Jeremy.
pop the champagne, baby.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So where was I? Can the Bears be the 1 seed? I don't think so. I think the Bears I think whoever wins the NFC North. The NFC North has just so many games against each other left. I guess the NFC West probably does too. I don't know. Maybe. The schedule's so tough.
It's impossible.
Gun to my head, I'd say no, probably not.
I'm with you, Drew. Any optimism there? Or are we just trying to battle to get in the damn playoffs at this point? As I feel like it's the latter.
There is a lot of attempts for the NFC West to drop a little bit. The Seahawks have the Rams and the 49ers. Obviously, the Niners have us, and there's a lot of games and a lot of shuffling to still happen. I think the 1 seed is a little tough, but at the same time, I don't know if the 1 seed is coming out of the North. So I think there's an opportunity to still win the North if the Bears can win. Yeah. It can beat the Packers. I just think that Rams team is too good, and they're going to control things from the front there. So I would definitely take the Bears winning the North and not getting the 1 seed in the NFC. Yeah. Obviously.
Definitely. I mean, Bears basically have to win out for a chance at that, right? And which is fine. That's tough sledding, though. But there is going to be some NFC West cannibalization, right? I mean, the Rams against the Niners, the Seahawks, like those, and the Lions. Those are not easy games. So we'll see how it shakes out. But this is exactly what NFL fans should want. There's a lot of drama in these last 4 weeks. It feels like a playoff atmosphere. But let's toss it around the league to what happened on Thursday night. Lions, Cowboys. This was kind of a darling upset pick. I think it was Cowboys were kind of riding high. I think it was +3.5. And the Lions just kind of pulled down their pants and said, I still have a huge schlong, right? And this is kind of what they did in that game. You could argue that there was some help from the refs. I know that was an immediate kind of outcry, but that was a huge game for the Lions, huge game for the Cowboys. I think that kind of puts a nail in their coffin, even though maybe not. They still have a path in the NFC East now that the Eagles just lost to the Chargers, but that doesn't really impact the Bears' playoff potential. It's Lions or bust. Someone's got to sit out. Someone's got to have a winning season in the NFC and not make the playoffs. A potential 10 or 11 game winner it could potentially miss the playoffs. Are we still scared about the Lions, though? I mean, Drew, I'm gonna throw it over to you because you were the one who was kind of saying, "Hey, big game against the Rams coming up. Big game against the Rams coming up." What do you see? Is there a path? I mean, is the Bears' best chance to win because the Lions continue to lose? Does that make sense?
Well, I don't know if that's going to be happening. I mean, let's face it, the Detroit Lions are still good. They still have an offense. They proved that against the Cowboys. They proved that against the Packers, even though they lost. They proved it against the Giants previously, and they proved it a lot throughout this season. So, and definitely against us. I do think our easiest path is, yes, them losing, but I don't think that's a guarantee. It's the Bears got to win for sure. I'm not cheering as much for the Detroit Lions as I might have been at the beginning of the season anymore. Yeah. Like the team, like the coach, they haven't had as much winning success as Green Bay or other teams in our division. So they are just going to be cheered against going forward because that's what we need.
Yeah. Nick, what do you got on the Lions take?
Yeah, I mean, need the Lions to lose every game.
Yeah, I mean,
Drew, you said it well. Like, Lions have been an easy team to root for the last 2 years. The Bears have been terrible. No dog in the fight. The Lions are a fun team to root for. Dan Campbell, I like him a lot as a coach, like you just said. But, now that we're in the mix of it and we have a game lead on them, just can't have them winning games. So we'll be rooting against them the rest of the season. And I know they're rooting against us too. So that's what makes it division rivals. So, yeah, I would love to see the Lions lose every game the rest of the season. But this is a big one this week. Big game.
Yeah. Lions have Rams, Steelers, at Vikings, Bears. Okay. So, it's possible that they can lose 2 or 3 of those games. Anything's possible in this NFL.
They did lose to the Vikings once this year. People forget that.
Yeah. And speaking of the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy back, apparently he wanted to go full MVP mode. The Vikings, and we're not going to spend too much time on this because the Vikings are meaningless at this point, 5-8, but they throttled the Commanders 31-0 with Jaden Daniels. And I think this speaks. The Commanders are now 3-10. I know Jaden Daniels has been out, but he was not out for that game, and they put up 0 points. So it's just bizarre. This whole NFL season's just been bizarre. Weirdest thing of how this week concluded is the AFC standings in general. The Patriots, the Steelers, the Jags, the Broncos are your division leaders in the AFC. If anyone had that board, before the season, they're making a lot of money. Yeah, because that is right now, the Ravens and the Chiefs are out of the playoffs. Insane. It's complete insanity. So I don't know. I don't mean to glaze over the Vikings and the Commanders. That was an interesting game. It's not as meaningful now because they're really not playoff contenders. But anything kind of stood out to you? Is there any merit to, hey, maybe the Vikings can become our best friends going forward because they still have to play the Packers. They still have to play the Lions. Or do you think that the Lions and the Packers are just going to steamroll them? I'm in the latter camp. I don't see the Vikings as a threat. I think there's a complete blip in the radar.
Yeah, I think if the Packers or the Lions overlook, the Lions certainly won't overlook them because they already lost to them once, so that won't happen. Packers, could they overlook them? They've overlooked teams. They lost to the Browns. They lost to the Panthers, who are actually now leading their division, or tied for it. So maybe it's not. But yeah, I think that if any team overlooks them, they're capable of winning. But also, I'm not going to hope for it or count on it by any means.
Yeah.
The fitting part of Minnesota's win is the fact that they blew the doors off of Washington, and you'd think it was like a highlight for some of their stars. JJ McCarthy threw 3 touchdowns to tight ends. Justin Jefferson didn't get a touchdown. Like Jordan Mason got in there. Like it was just so irrelevant and so just on par for what we've seen out of JJ McCarthy and Minnesota. Yes, I'm going to cheer for them when they play the Lions and when they play our division opponents. But I just don't think there's any legs behind that.
Well, we'll all be Vikings fans moving forward. A tough spot to be because I think we know that the Vikings are not that great. But hey, their defense is not bad. Yeah. Their offense is JJ McCarthy. I mean, that's bad. That's not good. But maybe we can get lucky. Again, I can't stress enough how bizarre of an overall NFL season this has been in terms of unpredictability. So anything's truly possible. We mentioned the Panthers. I want to stay in the NFC South. The Buccaneers continue to poop the bed. Truly pooped. I mean, the gods Moses is clearing the Red Sea for them to just waltz into the playoffs. And they're saying, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to stay on this side of the fence. They lost to the Saints in an embarrassing fashion. And Shuck was just running all over the place and no one wanted to tackle him. It was bumbling into the end zone. Thank God. I was like, that seems like it's a money line Bucks for the mortgage. And luckily I didn't do that. But like, there's no way I was betting the Saints in that spread. I think it was like 4.5. So I was like, yeah, something was a little fishy, and it was, because they ended up winning the damn game. The Bucks are now 7-6. the Panthers are 7-6. So that NFC South is shit. And Nick, you wrote in a great little, I wish the Bears were in the NFC South.
Yeah.
If someone from the NFC South has to make the playoffs, and that is going to be an embarrassment. And I'm at this point, I'm almost hoping that it's the Panthers because I want there to be just complete chaos.
They play each other twice to finish the season.
They haven't played each other yet?
They have not played each other. So that'll be fun because those are essentially decisive games. That's gonna, one team goes 2-0. That's it. You're in the playoffs.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen a harder crash than a Baker Mayfield future on an MVP because he truly through 6 weeks is like, this guy's the guy, and he's just been playing like poop. Agbuka is completely disappeared, and I say that because I own him in one fantasy league, and that I was right. I was like, I'm the smartest motherfucker in the room, and then he's just flatlined, and that whole team has. So that's going to be a fun one from like an embarrassment standpoint to see who sneaks into the playoffs as a 4 seed and has a home field advantage. Like it's quite possible that the Bucks host the Seahawks. Right in the wild card division. That's just wrong. It's just wrong. So I don't know. I just wanted to call that one out. I'm glad you had that as the kind of the top bullet there because it's just stinky. But I don't know. Anything else on the Bucks? Sorry, I took a lot of the talking points there.
No.
Okay. Well, we'll chalk it back up to the NFC West. Things that are pertinent and relevant to the Bears. The Rams absolutely throttled the Cardinals. I think we were all in on that one. I'm not going to spoil things, but that was certainly an over that someone picked, and rightfully so. I think we had all of our fantasy players from that game too. Drew's probably got a nice grin after he audibled from Marvin Harrison Jr. to Michael Wilson, who looked like Justin Jefferson that game in a loss. But the Rams, I mean, they put up 45 points, 45-17. It was a slam dunk. Puka Nacua went insane. They rushed for 3 touchdowns. Anything they wanted to do offensively, that's the Rams that looks like the number 1 overall seed in the NFC and the NFL. I haven't looked it up, but I have to imagine that they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl. So it's going to be tough sledding. Let's go Rams. Get that Lions win. No one's going to want to see the Rams in the playoffs. That much is just guaranteed. You got Matthew Stafford, the grizzled vet. He's on an MVP path. The West is just the West and the North are just absolutely brutal this year. And it's just a shame that we have to be in that division, especially when we're trying to kind of put things together. But we'll stay in the West as well. The Seahawks laid it on the Falcons. The Falcons are just an embarrassment. It's just some of the worst football you can watch. But I mean, they didn't play a great first half, 6-6 at halftime, and then they came out and said, "Oh, yep, we're the Seahawks." And they ended up winning the game 37-9. Nick, anything jump out to you in that one? Jackson Smith and Jigba did his thing, which was unfortunate because I was going up against him in 2 fantasy matchups and I just got throttled.
Yeah. No, it's, I had a close eye on the Seahawks game because I saw the score at halftime. Like, oh, okay, here we go. This is some good news finally. Bears weren't playing at the noon slate, so I was able to kind of watch other games and see, and this got a little bit of my attention. And then I think the Seahawks came out in the second half and went like touchdown, interception, touchdown, fumble, touchdown, like something like that. Like first 5 minutes of the third quarter is like, oh, this game's over. Like it was not. So it was fun for a minute, but yeah, the Seahawks are very good. The Rams are very good. The 49ers are pretty good. So the whole NFC, NFC, like you said, West and the North, juggernauts. The rest of the NFC kind of not good, not very good.
Yeah. Drew, any takeaways there? I mean, just more depression seeing that, hey, we had a glimmer of hope, like Nick said, 6-6 going into halftime. We're watching Red Zone, and maybe there's a chance we get a upset, and then nah.
Yeah, Seahawks look like they know how to control a game, and the Falcons. What happened to the Falcons this year? Oh, I know. They decided Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins should be their quarterbacks.
Yeah. Oops.
Whoops.
And the legend of Kyle Pitts continues because I have him in the league that I'm actually in. And I took first place in the regular season, so pat myself on the back. But Kyle Pitts has been my starting tight end. It's like, what am I doing? What am I? That
He had a
guy's
good game.
He had a fine game, but I don't
90
think he
yards.
scored a touchdown this season.
No. I didn't say that.
Like all season. So yeah, I mean, again, just to harp on this, worst case scenario for the Bears this week. Again, that's how you go from 1st seed to 7th seed. But at least it's the 7th. At least it's not the 8th. We'll touch on probably the fun game of the week, a snow game again in Buffalo, high scoring affair. I think this is one of our overs of the week as well. There's a theme there that we did pretty good in that this week. Cincinnati lost kind of a heartbreaker to Buffalo in Buffalo. Joe Burrow did everything that he could. They put up 34 points. It was 34-39, which, by the way, that covered those of us who had the Bengals plus 5.5, which thank God. But they ended up losing the game. So you just feel bad for Joe Burrow. It's like it's just their defense is such shit. But it wasn't an entertaining game. It was a lot of points. It was very fun to see. But with throwing up 34 points, Jamar Chase fantasy owners just got to be kicking themselves. It's a weird year for top end wide receivers. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Jefferson's just off the radar, but Chase is, hit or miss this year. But that was fun. It was fun to see the Bills. They're kind of my AFC darling, have been for a little bit. So I wanted them to kind of get back on the right track. I did want to see the Bengals win, so it would throw some chaos into the really shitty AFC North. But did you guys have any takeaways from that game?
Just fun.
Yeah, it was a fun one. That was just a good old noon fun game.
Good to see games like that, especially when you see the weather forecast in Buffalo and you're thinking, oh boy, maybe I should shift and play the under. No. It's Josh Allen in the snow for some reason turns into just an absolute playground. So good shit. Unfortunately, that knocks the Bengals out of the playoffs.
Not technically.
Not technically.
I was going to say.
But yeah, mathematically still in, but realistically, out.
4-9 is going to be a tough sledding. But, I mean, that just speaks to how shitty the AFC South is. It's crazy. And the Steelers are commanding now the AFC South at 7-6. It's an embarrassment to the league. This is one that I wanted to you know what, Nick, can I throw this one over to you? Because you're the Colts and the Jags.
Yes.
Walk us through that one.
I'd love to talk to this one. On the surface, this game was a very boring game. The Colts lose to the Jaguars 36-19. We kind of joked last week about how Daniel Jones was playing with a broken bone in his leg. And I think it was the opposite leg. I'm not 100% sure.
It was.
Yeah. So he, in this game, Daniel Jones got the old Jamie Ensley, the old torn Achilles.
Oh, James.
Sorry, James. Hope you recover fast, buddy. But Daniel Jones tore his. It's not funny. Daniel Jones tore his Achilles out for season. The kid from Notre Dame, whose name is escaping me right now, came in. Riley Leonard. That's it. Not very good. Pretty bad. Colts are looking at a disaster, a season that started with such promise going downhill very fast. And notification that I got literally while I was putting this rundown together. The Colts are working out a veteran quarterback by the name of Phillip Rivers this week in Indy. You may remember Phillip Rivers
from his 12 kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Phillip Rivers was drafted in the NFL 22 years ago. Played for the Chargers a long time. He finished with the Colts. He is 44 years old, and they're kicking the tires to bring him back. Last time he played was in the COVID season of 2020 with the Colts. I thought that was interesting because it literally broke as I was writing this, and it's hilarious that Phillip Rivers is the guy they're going to. So I want to see this. I want to see, when he was last in the NFL, he was very injured. He couldn't really do anything. Maybe these 5 years off, I could maybe get him a little more I don't know, nimble out there. He's not. He's never been a mobile guy. I'm sure he's not more mobile at 44 than he was at 28. But it's just wild.
Insane.
I
Well, you know
had a
why they're
double
doing
take
that? You know why they're doing that is because they don't have a healthy quarterback on their roster right now.
Did Riley Leonard get hurt?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
He,
I didn't
he
watch
is
this game.
out, potentially
really?
out for a year or two.
Oh,
They
God.
they have absolutely, I mean, the Colts from going in how they started the season to probably going to miss the playoffs. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Not only that, they also mortgaged 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, also out for a year potentially. So they are going to be in NFL hell here with
Why
no draft
are
picks.
we not? We talked about this, guys. Trade everything for Jameis.
They can't
Get him
The trade
on that
deadline.
slot.
They can't.
They can't. The trade deadline is over.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
If I'm like Jameis or I'm like Joe Flacco or one of these guys who's like a proven veteran backup that's not going to get any playing time the rest of the year, I'm asking for a release. I'm asking,
For sure.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, throw him in there. Like, you know,
Yep.
like you
Figure
had
out
go
a
to
way
the
to get
team.
around it. Yeah.
You can figure. You're right, Drew. That you can figure out a way to get
beg
around
the
it.
team to let him go, get him off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize that he got hurt too. That's because we made a joke about how Anthony Richardson being the starting quarterback would be bad. Forgot that he broke his orbital bone in a preseason
Mhm.
when he wasn't playing.
Yeah. What did elastic band snap in his face or something?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Good God.
Oh,
Yeah, I
boy.
mean the AFC South is complete mayhem right now. You got the Jags at 9-4. The Texans are absolutely charging. That defense is legit. CJ Stroud's doing okay, fine, but with that defense, you could put Rex Grossman out there and it would be the same. It's like the Bears in 2006 with that defense. It's insane. And the Colts are finding themselves third in the division now and trending way down. So I wanted to kind of go to the Texans. The Texans took on the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football and took care of business. And they held the Chiefs at 10 points. And I saw one of the hardest NFL hits I've ever seen in my life against Rashee Rice. I don't know how he didn't die on impact.
Yeah. Yes.
But
That was brutal.
That was brutal. I'm not going to lie. Looking at a Texans Super Bowl future, it does not seem crazy with their defense right now. I can't imagine them not making the playoffs. I haven't even looked at their schedule, but I mean that was an impressive statement win, and I think it buried the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 6-7, guys. They're under 500 and with nearly impossible path to the playoffs, in my opinion, especially with that Chargers win tonight as well. It's Pats, it's Bills, it's someone's coming out of the AFC North. Who cares? Jags are 9-4. The Texans, the Broncos, the Chargers. I don't see a path for the Chiefs. Do you guys?
I feel like. Sorry, I'm looking at the standings right now. Yeah, I don't think so. I've been saying the Chiefs. I've been saying the Chiefs are cooked for quite a while. They're just not the same this year.
No,
they're just not. Let me see. Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. So 7 is the Texans. So yeah, I mean, you got to jump the Colts and the Ravens. I mean, the Colts are going to jump in a couple. But you're 2 games out of the playoffs right now, losing tiebreakers to virtually every single team in front of you. Not looking good for the Chiefs because they've lost to the Texans, they've lost to the Bills, they lost one to the Chargers. These are all the teams in front of them. So you're down 2 with 4 to play, and you don't have a tiebreaker against half these teams. That's not good.
Yeah, and that tiebreaker comes down to conference play unless you're in your division. They're 3-5 in conference, so they're not looking. I mean, even if they run the table, they're still 10 wins might not get you in the AFC this year.
10-7,
long road ahead.
I mean, there's a way. I mean, if the NFL wants their darlings in, they'll get their darlings in. But it's a very formidable path, and you can bet your ass that they're going to win the next 2 games to make that game on Christmas Day against Denver actually mean something, so that the viewership on Netflix or Prime Video or whatever it is actually going to be up.
I disagree. I get what you're saying, But you guys have been saying that for the past couple weeks. Like, well, the Chiefs are going to win because the Chiefs are like, they're not. They're just not a good team. I don't know who their next 2 games are. Maybe if they're playing the Raiders twice, they'll win both of them.
No.
But like, yeah.
I know that they have I believe it's the Colts.
Okay, well, they already played the Colts.
Did they?
No. They've got the
they did.
They've got the Chargers next week, the Titans, Denver, and Las Vegas.
Okay, sorry.
That's right. But
I mean, we'll
that's
see.
3 divisional games. That's 3. That's 3 divisional games, and 2 teams that are ahead of you in the standings. So it's possible, and you're never counting them out until there's mathematically not a chance that they can get it.
I'm going to count them out now. Take my vote as counting out the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs
I'm with Nick. I think they're done. 6-7. I think they're done. Drew, you were talking about the NFL script and them rigging things. So let's go to the game of the week in hype about the NFL's fix being in. Broncos beat the Raiders 24-17. The line in that game was either 8.5 or 7.5, right? However you wanted to slice and dice it. Yeah. And the way that the Raiders put up and covered that number was hilarious to watch. I had the Raiders plus 7.5, so I thought it was hilarious. And I couldn't believe my eyes of what was happening because the last sequence of the game was insane. I think there was a phantom pass interference play that they're rushing up, calling timeouts. They kick a field goal with time.
It was a delay of game. It was
delay of game.
The Broncos defender apparently laid on the Raiders receiver so they couldn't get up and clock the ball with 5 seconds left. Crazy call. Just that ref absolutely had Raiders plus 8.5 or 7.
Oh, yeah.
There's no other reason to make that call at that time of the game. There's like 5 seconds. You saying Bolt play every position on your team. You're not going to get to the line and snap the ball in 5 seconds. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
So funny.
And then they still had there was still a choice to kick a field goal. And when you just can take a knee, I mean, the game's over. The game is just, it was over. You just line up, take a knee. I loved it. Again, I had a ticket on plus 7.5, so I was doing the dance, but I was like, well, this is fixed. This is rigged. There's no way that's not. That was hilariously wild.
But you know what, Jay? That's 2 weeks in a row. You're on the right side of the fix.
I am.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
good.
True. That's true.
So watch your back. It's probably going to come for you.
Yeah, I was going to say the FBI is going to swat down and do something to me. But hey, you know what? I've been on the wrong side of the fix.
Yeah. Of course.
It all evens out. Sometimes you just flip a coin and you get lucky. And that's exactly what happened. Thank you, Roger Goodell, and the Vegas books that cooked that one for us. Yes. Well, a couple quick hits there. I thought this was interesting. I want to make mention of this. The Titans hold off the Browns 31-29. That's right, 31-29. The over-under in that game was 33.5 points.
Yes.
Yeah, we know, Jay, because you took it as the over.
I took it. Yep. Yep. And I'm telling you, I was looking at halftime. Yeah. They put up 31 points total in that game at halftime. I was like, well, I'm a genius. This is great.
Smartest man alive.
How does that? I mean, that's just insane. But that was a fun one. And Shador, we're gonna host Shador, so hopefully they don't put up that many points against us because that was. We'll get into that next week. And then the Dolphins beat the Jets 34-10.
Brady Cook, Nick.
Yeah,
that too. Okay.
I
had a prop on Adonai Mitchell receptions, and of course, Tyrod Taylor goes down in the first 3 snaps. And Brady
immediately.
Cook.
Yeah. Woof. And somehow the Dolphins, I think, have 6 wins. Just insane.
They're right. They're kind of back in the playoff race, which is.
I know they have the same amount of wins as the Chiefs.
They're right at the same position as the Chiefs. So
insanity.
Who knows? Wild.
Insanity. But yeah, I that is our NFL rundown. Anything else that you guys, Nick, Drew, wanted to kind of point out that I left off the list there?
Nah, it's going to be a fun next 4 weeks.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if this week is any indication of what's to come, I think it's going to be, good last month of the season.
All right, well, let's kick it over to the podium list. Nick, I am jazzed for this one. I'll kick it back over to you. I love unis. Take us into that list.
Yes, of course. But before we dive into the podium list, Just want to say a couple words from our friends over at Glen Rock Pop, Lake County's legendary soda revival. Crafted with pure cane sugar, poured into classic glass bottles, and bursting with nostalgic flavor. Glen Rock is more than a drink; it's a hometown icon. Whether you're sipping on orange, cream soda, or my personal MVP, the all-new lime, Glen Rock is bringing the joy back to every corner of Lake County. Want to catch their pop-up trailer in action? Follow Glen Rock Pop on Facebook for their latest event stops. Ready to stock up? Head to glenrockpop.com to find retailers near you. From tailgates to game days, Glen Rock Pop is the ultimate sideline sip. Don't just drink, celebrate. So, with no further ado, we are going to dive right on into our podium list segment of the show. In honor of the college football playoff bracket coming out this week, I thought it would be fun to go down the college football path a little bit and maybe do college football uniforms. Who's your best college football uniform? College football has some of the greatest color combinations and uniforms that there ever were in the sport. So I thought this would be a fun exercise to do. I don't think we've done this before, and if we have, we're gonna do it again. I don't think we have, right?
We've done NFL. We have not done college.
Yes. Okay, we did NFL. That's right. You're right. So anyway, I thought so. So best college football uniforms. There's no rules. If a team wore it during a game, you could pick it. I'm probably going to stick to more like of the classic stuff, not like any weird alternates or anything, but you can do whatever you want. Actually, I do have one alternate on here. So again, do whatever you want. But for our podium list order this week, it is going to go in the gold, the way we typically do it, gold, silver, bronze. The gold round is going to go Drew, Jay, Nick. And then silver, we're going to go Jay, Nick, Drew. And then in the bronze, it's going to go Nick, Drew, Jay. So have all your thoughts together, boys. Let's go ahead, Drew. I'm going to kick it over to you with the 1-of-1 gold pick.
I had a proposal on this when I first saw it, and I was going to text you guys, but I figured I'd bring it up in the show of if you pick a team, can't pick their jersey again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, then easy 1-of-1 for me is just the Oregon Ducks. I can't pick away from the Oregon Ducks. I mean, I could pick so many of their jerseys to be in the top. I love their blackout jerseys. I love that that yellowish jersey that they wore with the old school duck most recently, or the UO. Oregon Ducks. I mean, they come up with some of the best jerseys I've ever seen. So that's my 1-on-1.
Honestly,
easily.
just the classic all greens are solid
Yeah.
too. Like you can't beat it. Like Oregon's got some of the best uniforms in the game. So
something about Marcus Mariota wearing a Oregon Ducks jersey, which was kind of cool last. What was that? 2 Mondays ago when Denver played Washington, and it was Bo Nix versus Marcus Mariota. Them meeting at the center of the field, I just imagined they were both talking about how cool it was to wear an Oregon Ducks jersey.
Yeah, it's probably exactly what they were talking about. No, but I agree. No, I think that was. They were probably both wearing Ducks jerseys under their NFL jerseys. So, no, that's a great pick. I think Oregon is a very deserving, first gold pick. Yeah. So, Jay, why don't you go ahead and give us your gold?
You got it. Drew, great picks too, because I mean that has to be such a great recruiting mechanism too. It's like you want to wear the coolest jerseys in the game, but they have so many to choose from. I'm going in a complete opposite direction. I'm going with the super traditional, non-flashy, and I love these jerseys. They're the cleanest ones in my opinion, the simplest jerseys to ever do it, and it's just Penn State. It's Penn State, and I'm thinking Saquon Barkley, Penn State. That kind of jersey, the navy on white pants, white helmet. It's polarizing. Some people think it's just boring as hell, but I don't know why. I love a simple, clean, that kind of jersey in a college or football setting. It's just just go out there, look sharp. The navy on white is as clean as it gets, in my opinion. So love those ones. I'm not taking the whiteouts. It's the navy, white pants, white helmet. That just to me is like college football jersey.
Yep.
So the Joe Pa or the Jerry Sandusky go-tos.
Yeah, big Sandusky guy.
1-of-1.
Yeah. Yep. Sandusky 101. Epstein Island. Come to Penn State.
Yeah. I mean, I knew those were going to get picked. I don't have them on my list because I do kind of have them, in that kind of boring. I'm kind of, that's just, but I do understand their place in the game and how people look at them. I do, like, I had a football coach when I was in middle school tell me one time, because some of the kids on my team, we were kind of like complaining that our jerseys were kind of boring. And our coach, he said to a bunch of us, like, hey, if you got points for jersey colors, the Blackhawks would never lose and Penn State would never win. For all these years.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty.
That's
that
funny.
was pretty cool. So, but yeah, Penn State, great pick. I mean, when you think of Penn State and the navy and the white pants and the white helmet, the single stripe on the helmet, you just think of like college football Saturday. So I think it's a great pick.
Yeah.
I am going to go with a little bit flashier, but it's going to be a little classic as well. And I'm going to take the home Florida State uniforms. I'm talking red jersey, gold pants with the spear on the helmet. I love Florida State. I think they have the best helmet in the game with the spear. They hang the little tomahawks on the back of their helmets for the good plays and stuff. So I'll take Florida State with my gold pick. I love those uniforms.
That was a top 5 for me, no doubt. I love the college. I don't know what the decals that go on the helmet is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. You get to like October, November, and it's just like packed with them. And it looks so cool.
Yeah.
Which I want to know what constitutes for each team a sticker on the helmet.
Dude,
gotta know.
Right?
Well, when I was in high school, we gave stickers on our helmets in high school. And you got a sticker for a sack. You got a sticker for a touchdown. You got a sticker for like a pancake block. You got a sticker for a tackle for a loss. You got like all those things. Plus, I'm sure there's a million things that they want them to look cool, but that's basically the list of things you get stickers for.
That's cool.
Okay.
Got to be a good feeling. Never got a sticker. Because
there's an offensive lineman. Yeah. Didn't do that
yeah. Each beer's being shotgunned.
Yep.
Drew would have a lot of stickers.
I mean, I would have had 17 helmets with stickers all on.
Yeah.
I remember my junior year of high school, I got 2 stickers in my first game, and then I think I finished the season with 3 stickers on my helmet.
There you go. Off to a fast start.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I have like the most stickers of anybody. Then it just all downhill from there. But anyway. All right. So it's good gold round, boys. I think that was pretty chalky, which I like to see. So Jay, why don't you kick us off with silver?
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to stick in the state of Florida. This was my favorite team growing up. I loved everything Florida. It was just the Florida Gators. I loved the Florida Gators. And when you put my one request here is when you put the picture on the graphic, just not Tim Tebow. Okay. It's not a Tim Tebow one, anyone else. But Florida Gators, man, the blue jerseys, white pants, orange helmets. It just screams. That was my franchise in NCAA 2003 football. And I just love those jerseys. It always just makes me feel happy, nostalgic. So give me the Florida Gators.
Gators written on the helmet right there in cursive.
Yeah. Well, I love the helmet with the actual Gator logo on it, if that makes sense. But the cursive Gators is also crisp and clean.
I also like the old school, just like capital F on the jersey.
Sure.
Honestly, and just the orange and the blue just really pops. Like the blue just really pops on that. Like it's just a really good color scheme. I really like it a lot.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Give me Percy Harvin on that.
There you go. There you go.
I was thinking some Chris Leak, maybe.
Chris Leak.
Some Chris Leak.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
We'll see. But anyway, okay. So I'm gonna move on to my silver. God, I have like 3 right here that I really like.
I know there's so many good ones, dude.
Yeah. I can't miss this one. So I'm gonna stay in the SEC. God, the SEC has such good uniforms.
I know.
But I'm gonna take the LSU purple jerseys, yellow pants, yellow helmets. It's such a clean. You put a Saturday night game in Baton Rouge with those uniforms. It's just, I don't know. It's very cool and everything about it. So yeah, I'm taking the purple jerseys, yellow pants, yellow helmet.
Joe Burrow's.
I was gonna say you got in Joe Burrow just makes it look extra clean there. And I will tip my hat to them. The logo's awesome. Purple and yellow is a tough combo to pull off,
Yeah.
but they just are clean as hell.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's that Nolans. Nolans.
Little
Yeah.
gumbo down in the bayou.
Oh man. Yeah. All right, Drew, silver, some heavy hitters still on the board. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, guys, I'm very shocked that this is still there. This is our bread and butter through high school of teams. Maybe it's just because they were so kind of villainish. But you got to go USC. You got to go the liners in the bush. The maroon and gold. Those, the little shoulder stripes. I mean, even Caleb was wearing them with the gold pants in there. They've been there for so long. And then the Trojan on the helmet, just very iconic. So got to go USC for sure.
It is a pretty elite logo. I'm not going to lie. And that gets you going.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Sorry, I'm just thinking about my next pick, but no, I love that. I have that on my list. USC is classic. The colors, I don't necessarily think they are like I said with Florida, the colors pop really good off each other. I don't necessarily think that about USC, but the uniforms are very clean looking, and I do like that. So anyway, we're gonna go into bronze, and I am really stuck between two picks that I really, really like. And I am going to I'm gonna be a hypocrite. Jay, I don't want to say I poo-pooed your Penn State, but I kind of did a little bit. I'm gonna take another just kind of classic uniform. It's got a little more pizzazz than Penn State. But I'm taking Notre Dame. They're navy and gold. Yeah. I couldn't take the chance of this not being on the list, and I also really like it. Like Notre Dame was my team growing up, being a Catholic in the Midwest with no real ties to any colleges around here, being Irish. So Notre Dame was my school growing up. So anyway, Notre Dame, navy shirts, gold pants, gold helmet.
Yeah, and shout out to our friend Aaron Navolio, one of the most diehard Notre Dame fans out there. Just gut-wrenching news that they didn't make the playoffs. I've never been a Notre Dame fan myself. I will root for Notre Dame in the presence of Aaron due to fear. But I do. My heart goes out to you because I was thinking about you.
Yeah, that was
Also the bitching out on not playing a bowl game just gets me. But great uniform.
I was going to say the uniforms. I mean,
gold ass helmet.
Yeah,
great uniform.
The gold really pops really well in the HD era of television. You couldn't really see it as well back in the day, but now the gold really pops on TV. So it's really good.
Extra metallic, I feel nowadays.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right, Drew. Let's. What do you got for bronze?
I think I've mentioned this before. Just two of the most iconic. I picked one in just the silver right there, but the most iconic college football game I can ever remember in my mind is USC versus Texas.
Yeah.
And the Texas burnt orange with the white pants and the white helmets, Vince Young going at it. I gotta take that. That is the burnt orange and the white just works. It's a sexy uniform. As much as I just dislike Texas as a state and a college itself, that just works. So gotta have Texas there.
Yeah, it's
big. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I'm saying everything's just clean, and I hate myself for saying that, but it good God, with that white helmet too, with that logo is just phenomenal.
Even the all whites for Texas are just I mean, the orange shirt is definitely better, but the all whites are still very clean.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I was about to cut you off to say those are so clean. So,
yeah.
So, oh God. So great pick. God, all great picks. And
I thought
my list is still set so many good ones on it.
Same. That's the bummer is I don't know where to go here. Texas was going to be my clear go-to. I'm a little bit bitter with you, Drew. There, great pick. obviously. I'm going to stay in the orange realm then, and I'm going to go with the Tennessee Vols. I think that that's just a fun orange kind of color. I love the kind of the thick stripe on the helmet too, just a clean tee. But that Tennessee orange, the white pants, the white helmet, it's just very unique. And I it's just Peyton Manning. I just think Peyton Manning in those orange unis is it gets it done. Yeah. But let there be no doubt that I have Texas way ahead of Tennessee in that. But I'll take what I can get.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're so close, but so much different. Like just in terms of like the color shades are close and but just Texas is better, but they're both so good. Something about orange. I don't know. Something cool about it. I'll tell you that the one that I was the hardest decision I had was so Notre Dame, I obviously took as my bronze. It was between Notre Dame and UCLA with their powder blues. I fucking love UCLA and their powder blues. I think those are some of the best.
Jersey.
And also the Pitt Royal blues and the yellow helmets, like not the Larry Fitzgerald era Navy Pitt, but like the royal blue with the golds. Those are
Dan Marino era. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's so many classic ones out there. I mean, you just name tops of the charts, college schools right now. Like Alabama, pretty basic, but numbers on the helmet. Yeah, those are always cool. Ohio State, got some.
I just hate Ohio State. I mean, those unis are awesome. Don't get me wrong, but that was just a spite. I'm not taking them.
I'm not taking. And Michigan is a classic with the wing on the helmet and everything. But I don't like Michigan. So
I was going to say
the U
and Michigan.
Ken Dorsey, the U.
I have the U on my list.
Yeah.
Colorado black shirts and gold pants is like a really good look.
Curtis Enos era, 95.
Curtis Enos, yeah. Wait,
I'll tell you.
No, Rashawn Salam. Curtis
Enos with
Penn State.
Yeah, Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a sleeper in and wasn't going to pick him just out of spite because I think Lane Kiffin's a douchebag. Ole Miss, the baby blues, the Ole Miss on it. That's cool. Up there for me. But
those are good.
There's a lot of spite in my pick and my leaving outs of teams. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100. Yeah, definitely. Michigan, Ohio State were not on my list. You know what's weird is that when I was thinking about like college uniforms I've seen, there was one uniform that like kind of jumped out to me, but I definitely wasn't going to pick it. But it was a special one-time wearing uniform. Purdue had these really cool uniforms one game where like it was different than their normal ones. They were really cool. Like they should change their uniforms to this all the time. It had like train tracks on it. It was really cool. I don't know why they didn't go to that, but anyway, yeah.
I'll tell you what,
because they stink.
If you're looking for uniforms, one thing, listeners out there, every year that it happens, there's always a cool variation of the uniforms in the Army Navy game.
Yeah,
they throw out some cool shit that makes that game stand out for the service levels, and that is this weekend, is it not? I think it is.
I think so.
It's the weekend after conference championship. Yeah. That'll be this weekend. Yeah, good call.
Ooh, uni.
That used to be. Didn't that used to be like Thanksgiving week? Am I crazy? No, it was never Thanksgiving week. It was never Thanksgiving week.
Somewhere around there. But yeah, they always bring the heat with those uniforms.
Yeah, they absolutely do. You know, this is a random one, but something about it. I always loved Wisconsin's jerseys, the red and with the big W on it, and I know. And I feel bad because I feel if they were still good, their jerseys might get a little bit more love, but they just aren't.
I gotta tell you, I don't like the font of the W. I don't know why.
Okay.
I think that like the red and the white is really a good look, but just like the font, it just seems like, I don't know, like cartoony. I don't know. I just don't
a little too whimsical.
I also just don't like Wisconsin. I fucking
That's
Wisconsin,
fair.
So,
That's fair.
That's a little biased.
We've heard that voice.
Yeah, I've
couple of times.
I may have mentioned that. But anyway, one thing that I did want to call out, my buddy Andrew, good friend of mine, he went to Michigan State, and I wanted to put a Michigan State uniform on here, but I kind of think the Michigan State uniforms are fucking terrible. Like every time they have like an alternate, they're just awful.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to look at some terrible uniforms, look at the Michigan State like alternate uniforms they've worn over the past like 5-10 years, and there's some just hideous uniforms in that collection. So I couldn't, with good spirit, put that in my list. But honestly, this is all talking jerseys is fun. It's like I love talking jerseys. So I can't wait to get this graphic out and see what people think. But yeah, that was good. That was good. I enjoyed it. So pretty much going to wrap us up on the show. I'm just going to whip it around the horn real quick. We're going to go through some closing thoughts. Drew, I'm going to let you close us out first. What are your closing thoughts on this wonderful evening?
Yeah. So I think a lot of what has transpired post the game yesterday is a general sense of positivity. But I do want to wrap this show up by saying every game counts going forward, and cannot overlook any teams. We've said that. But in your Bears fandom, folks out there, you need to continuously just invest yourself in these games like this is going to be a playoff team. Don't overlook any opponent. Don't overlook any matchup. Still bring the heat. The Packers aren't the only team that we're going to play. And I want to stress that one loss to the Packers does not end a season. We are going to 100% still be in contention with Ben Johnson as our head coach. I don't think I stressed that enough at the beginning of this show. So please continuously root on your team. Don't be mad at a loss to the Green Bay Packers, because we've got 16 other games that we're going to have to play. And let's get a win against Cleveland, and then we'll go ahead and look into Green Bay the following week.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
Yep.
I think half of that was a preview for our show on Thursday, and half of that was directed to me tonight. So I appreciate that. So thank you very much for that. Jay, what are your closing thoughts this week?
Yeah, just stay away from the ledge, Nick. That's
I'm just trying to back you further off.
Get out of there. No, mine is I'm looking down at the calendar. It's already December 8th. Tomorrow's December 9th. And I'm like, how is this happening? How are we this close to Christmas already in the holidays?
Yeah.
I have not touched a single item of holiday shopping. So I got a to-do list for the rest of the week to try to get focused and into holiday Christmas mode. So wish me luck with that, but I just don't want to be too far behind. Want to give the holidays the time and energy they deserve. And so I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to be in Christmas mode because I haven't been in there and I need to start. So those are my closing thoughts.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not bad if you have to pull an Arnold Schwarzenegger and go out and buy the gifts on Christmas Eve. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it.
It's turbo time. All right. Yeah. So my closing thoughts, kind of in line with Jay's. We got the holidays coming up. Really fun time. Like my oldest son is 7.5. He'll be 8 in the spring. And I've mentioned it before. He's getting really, really into sports right now. If he's not watching a football game on TV, he's playing Madden downstairs. It's really, really cool to see. He's really into all Chicago sports right now, which is awesome. And I feel bad for the kid, but I also love it. One of my favorite things that I get to do is that now he's into this stuff, and he actually wants like jerseys and stuff for Christmas and things like that. So he's asleep now. Obviously it's 11:45. I'd be a terrible parent if he wasn't. He can't hear this and I won't let him listen to it, but I did get him the all black alternate Blackhawks Connor Bedard jersey. And I'm very, very excited to give him that on Christmas. He is also getting a Caleb jersey because 18, he likes 8s. Like it's like, so he likes 18 and 98. He's a big fan of those numbers. So anyway, very excited to do that stuff. I'm just happy that like we're in the point where like not getting him like, you know, stuffed animals and Pokemon anymore. It's like, hey, I want like Bears jerseys. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. So very exciting in my house, in my mind. So
dude, he's gonna lose his mind getting
Oh
those
my
t-shirts.
gosh.
I mean, that's gonna be the best.
We need pictures of him holding it up or wearing it, all of those things.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this is one that he's going to put on like right away, because I think he's going to be. I mean, we went to Dick's Sporting Goods a few weeks ago, and he saw those things like sitting out because they had just come out, and he was like, because black's his favorite color, so he like loved. He's like, whoa, that's so cool. So anyway, I'm very excited to give it to him. So yeah, there will be lots of pictures of that for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's going to do it for us here at Barely Qualified. Drew, I appreciate you coming on. Jay, I appreciate you guys as always. People listening, thank you for listening. And as always, we will catch you on the flip side.
Thank you for listening to the Barely Qualified podcast. Like, comment, subscribe for more on a bi-weekly basis.